Over the past week, it's been a lot of talk of if the Detroit Lions could trade for Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans. And while those rumors were very high, very hot at the beginning of the week, they have since cooled down so much as we go just 7 days from the beginning of the NFL season. And we might pretty much have an answer to what's going to happen. I'll give you my thoughts on if the Detroit Lions could make a move for him and what I think Brad Holmes would do at the end of this video. So stick around for that. But I got this notification from Bleacher Report, and it's from an article from the Tampa Bay Times. And if anybody is going to know anything about what Mike Evans is going through and what's going on within the organization, it's going to probably be the beat writers around that report on the Buccaneers. So what am I referring to? Well, it appears as though Mike Evans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that this is his last season with the team. Now, he is on the last year of a $5 year, $82 million deal that he signed. And the contract extension talks have reached a stalemate between him and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Mike Evans is a unselfish player. This dude allowed the restructure of his contract to bring in what eventually wind up leading to Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. Very unselfish player, does everything he needs to do. And even at the age of 30, he just turned 30 10 days ago. He has never not put up, that's oxymoron or whatever you call it. He's put up every season 1,000 yards or more every single season. Kupp is injured and got a super high deal. It appears as though Evans is looking for something similar. This is coming from the Tampa Bay Times. Evans is believed to be seeking a deal similar to the 3-year, $80.1 million contract signed by the Rams receiver Cooper Kupp that included $75 million guaranteed and a $20 million signing bonus. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that our GM is a wild card, but doing that, I just don't see him doing that. I don't see him doing that. So I'm going to say, based on the assumption that Mike Evans wants a deal similar to Cooper Kupp, that we can stick a fork in the trade rumors for Mike Evans. However, our GM is kind of goated when it comes to contracts. He wasn't going to pay TJ Hawkinson. We have not made a move for any big free agent that has cost us a ton of money. And if Mike Evans, who is unselfish, by the way, and he is definitely willing to do things to help his team get better, if anybody can get Mike Evans here, it's definitely Brad Holmes. And with the trajectory of the Detroit Lions, I could see him pulling something off, but it all would depend on Mike Evans, what he would want, the extension talks and things like that. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a prime example of a person taking a deal that might have been less than they were originally seeking, but they took a deal based on however they were feeling and the trajectory of our team. So I'm not saying that Mike Evans won't wind up in Detroit. For $80 million, he won't wind up here. But if something could be worked out, then something could happen. Now, my opinion is this. With the season being so close, Mike Evans at the very latest is a trade, or to me, the earliest would be a trade deadline candidate. The Bucs may be willing to, if they can't get a contract extension worked out, they might be willing to try to trade Mike Evans mid-season to try to get something for him. Because if he can walk after this season, if they let him go, he is going to give them nothing. No capital, no nothing. There might be a team that needs a wide receiver mid-season, very similar to how TJ Hawkinson was traded away almost at the trade deadline or the trade deadline day. They might be willing to do that. So I believe since we're so close to the season, Mike Evans does not want to leave Tampa Bay, that the best case scenario for the Detroit Lions or any other team to see Mike Evans would be at the end of middle of season with the trade deadline. But when it comes to Mike Evans, what does he want to do? Well, here's what he had to say. He said, "Of course, I love to finish my career here," he said. "There's really nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to stay home and make a big deal about it. So I'm just out here working as hard as I can. That's what I'm doing. I'm here. I've always loved being here, and obviously I want to stay here, and I'm sure they want to keep me. But this is the caveat. But it's a business." So Mike Evans very well knows that this is a business. Looks like he wants to stay in Tampa Bay. And for now, Tampa Bay wants Mike Evans. But that relationship could sour. And I truly believe that they'll try to ship him midseason, because the other wide receiver that they have, his name is escaping me right now, the one, Chris Godwin, he will be a free agent. I think he signed a 2-year deal last year, and he's what I believe on the last year of his deal. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could be kind of at a mini rebuild. They have on their 53-man roster, they have 13 rookies. 13 rookies are on their 53-man roster. They got their Super Bowl. Tom Brady is no longer with the team. They're probably going to be going toward a quarterback in a year or two. Will Mike Evans be traded at the trade deadline? Now, of course, I don't have any inside information. I don't know if any of this is on the right path or anything like that. But I think that pretty much kills the trade talks of Mike Evans. Now, I will say, stranger things have happened. In the next week or two, something could go down, and then wham. I mean, Matthew Stafford was traded on a Saturday night at 10 p.m. So stranger things have happened. But I think that outside of some type of miracle or anything like that, that the Mike Evans trade talks have at least died down or all but dead until at least the trade deadline. So that's my thoughts. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Mike Evans could be traded at the trade deadline? And what kind of deal do you think that Brad Holmes would give him? Because I just don't believe that Brad Holmes is going to pay anybody that type of money. We have contract extensions coming up. And if Mike Evans wants an extension, we have to extend. We've got St. Brown, who we have to extend next year. We have Penei Sewell coming up. We have Jonah Jackson. I mean, we have to pay some guys. Now, we're projected to have the most money that we've had in quite a while in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's 4th year. But I don't know if a deal like that is on the table. And I think Brad Holmes is going to want to take care of his guys first and then go outside from there. So let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. It was fun while it lasted.